Mrs. Eleanor Harper, a middle-aged woman with a penchant for tranquility, had recently moved into a quaint apartment building in the heart of the city. The place, seemingly untouched by the urban chaos outside, promised her the blissful silence she craved. Eleanor cherished the peace more than anything, an obsession that only grew with each passing day. Her apartment was a sanctuary of serenity, adorned with muted colors and minimalist decor. The hush of the surroundings became her symphony, a melody of solitude that echoed through the corridors. But one ominous day, that melodic silence was shattered. A new tenant, Mr. Thomas Crane, moved in next door. Eleanor was initially irked by the abrupt disturbance to her tranquility, a dissonance in the otherwise harmonious notes of her life. She tried to dismiss it, attributing the noise to the adjustments one makes during relocation. However, the disturbance persisted, a relentless cacophony that seemed to defy the very essence of Eleanor's peaceful existence. Footsteps echoed at odd hours, mysterious thuds reverberated through the walls, and muffled conversations drifted into her space. It was as if an unsettling presence had invaded her carefully curated haven. Days turned into weeks, and the disquiet only intensified. Eleanor, unable to bear it any longer, mustered the courage to confront her new neighbor. She knocked on his door, a mix of frustration and trepidation coursing through her veins. To her surprise, Mr. Thomas Crane was polite and apologetic, assuring her that he would be more mindful of the noise. Grateful for his understanding, Eleanor turned to her apartment, hoping for a return to the blissful silence she had once known. However, as the days passed, the situation took a perplexing turn. The noise persisted, but now it seemed intentional, almost as if Mr. Crane reveled in disrupting Eleanor's peace. A chilling unease settled in her gut, and her obsession with silence morphed into a dread that gripped her heart. She was unable to cope with the noise. Determined, she left her apartment to confront him once more. After knocking twice, there was no answer. Eleanor slowly placed her ear to the door. Silence. She knocked again. Nothing. She reached for the doorknob, and it turned. It was unlocked. Eleanor cracked the door open and called for Mr. Crane. No answer. Feeling encouraged, she opened the door and walked inside. To her great surprise, the apartment was completely empty, as if it had been vacated long ago. Specks of dust floated, dancing with indifference in the empty space. She explored the rest of the apartment. Everything was gone. She was puzzled. Eleanor made her way to the bedroom, a thin layer of dust, the only witness to any previous tenant that had lived here long ago. Eleanor. She screamed and quickly turned around. It was Mr. Crane. Mr. Crane! You almost scared me to death. When did you move out? I didn't hear anything. My dear Eleanor, he said in an icy voice, ignoring her question, I finally have the silence you've been desiring for so long. I don't understand. Her frail voice almost choked on fear. But Eleanor did understand. And as he slowly approached her, she thought of the silence she so desperately craved. It was now within reach. She didn't move. Eleanor clenched her fists and closed her eyes as the loud silence made a never-before-heard melody in the life of one Eleanor Harper.